public relations manager. She's going to be our public relations manager this year, and she's already got off to a fantastic flying start. And she has offered with Nuala to deliver this session tonight. It's a very important session that we all need to be aware of. And so without further ado, I will hand the floor over to Angela. So please help me welcome Angela.
Thank you very much, Danny. Thank you very much, Mr. District Director, for that beautiful and wonderful introduction. And thank you very much, David, for stepping up today to be our Zoom master. And thanks so much, fellow Toastmasters, for coming today. I really appreciate seeing you and all the bright faces. So, District 71 Brand Builders, that's our tagline for the year, because we intend to do a lot with the brand. We tend to build the brand in compliance with Toastmasters guidelines. We are the brand police of District 71, and we'll be looking out for all the people that we need to put in jail. That's a joke now, we're not putting anyone in jail. So our mission for this year is to increase awareness of Toastmasters brand and increase engagement within District 71. I would just like to talk a bit about our team and the initiatives that we plan to carry out this year to achieve our mission. So currently we have myself as the PRM, and we have Hidi the Wolf, who is in charge of social media. We have Daryl Walton, who does the video testimonial, coordinates the video testimonials for members. And we have Nuala, who is joining us here today to talk about one of the initiative, which is #MyWhy. And she's going to be championing that initiative. I shall talk more about it as we go along. And we have Claire Downey. She's responsible for the newsletter, herself and Bitwil Dashe. And we have Nigel Smith, who will be running one of our programs. He's championing that program with Olga, and it's TM Unplugged. It promises to be very, very exciting and an interesting one that we have lined up. And James Finnegan and Paul O'Mani, who are in charge of Toast, Irish Talk for Talkers, yeah, the podcast. So I want to just kind of emphasize that we're still looking for people. We're looking for people to help us with the website, and we're looking for people to help out as well with the newsletter, social media, and I suppose graphic design. So if you're skilled in any of all these areas, we'll be really, really very excited to have you join our team. So the initiatives that we have, well, some of the initiatives that we have for the year, I'll just run through them quickly. The monthly newsletters. So we'll be looking for a lot of information. So if you have anything interesting that you think will look nice in our newsletter, that will bring some smiles to the faces of different people in the district, we really want to hear from you, because we want to make that newsletter as engaging and as interesting as possible for people, for the members. And the first issue has just gone out. I'm sure that quite a few of you would have read it. I'll be very happy to get feedback. If you want to put it quickly in the chat, what you think about the newsletter, what you think we should add to it. If you had seen the last issue, we'll really appreciate it. What do you think about it? Do you think it was good? Do you think that there are ways that we can improve on it? Do you think that there are some information that you would really find useful that you'd love to see in the newsletter? Just put it in the chat so that in the coming one in August, we can implement that feedback and give you a more robust newsletter that you would really find interesting and want to keep reading and sharing with your friends again and again. Yeah, so we have different monthly challenges and incentives set up for the year as well. Some of them includes the face of our newsletter. So we want to try as much as possible to get our members out there, to make them known. There are different, well, I suppose there are other initiatives like posting videos and doing shots, pictures of your clubs and things that's just happening around your clubs and districts, people, clubs and areas, I suppose, people wouldn't be able to see everything. And it will be nice to hear from whoever and wherever in the district, within District 71. We'll be very happy to hear from you, have you on our social media, share your success stories so people can know how well or how we're going in District 71 and all the interesting things that you're doing in the clubs. And it will be a good way too to promote your club, because whatever posts that we make on the social media about you, or we're going to tag you, we're going to tag your club. So that way people get to see that there are interesting things happening in your clubs and they will want to take part and join your club. So we have the interesting Toastmasters Unplugged. That's a monthly live news broadcast, and that's championed by Nigel Smith and Olga Byrne. And that's an interesting one. The first edition of that is going to happen on the 30th of July. So mark that date off your calendar. It's going to be live. There's a lot of interesting things lined up for that day. It's 7 p.m. and it'll be nice to see everyone there. We have the PR masterclasses for VPPR. The first one will be in a couple of weeks. I would send out the dates to the VPPRs, where we'll teach Canva, we'll look at video editing, and I'll be sending a survey out to find out which of this training it will be particularly important and will help you as a VPPR in your club to help you perform your role better. So quite a few classes that we're going to have this year. One of the goals as well for the team is to ensure that our VPPR is well empowered to be able to deliver their roles. And a nice one again, is the 100-year celebration. So we all know that this is the Toastmasters 100 years this year. And so we are looking for 100 stories or poems in 100 words to be published in an ebook at the end of the year. I think that's going to be really, really interesting. And I think it's a good way to show what you have and what you can do, and bring yourself to the limelight, your club and your areas and divisions. Then we have awards for the VPPRs, and well, I suppose for different public relations incentives. So I would want to add that PR, yes, we have President Public Relations in our clubs, but the social media, the recognitions, the incentives is going for, well, I suppose recognition is for the individual as much as it is for the club. So I would encourage everyone, even if you're not a VPPR, if you think there's anything your club can do better, or you think there's anything you can bring to the table that will get your club noticed, that will get, well, that will bring more members to your club, that will make people in your club learn more, don't be afraid to bring it to the notice of your VPPR, or even send me an email. My email address will be at the end of most of the, we have it at the end of the newsletters, and you'll have it as well at the end of this presentation. So the door is very open as the PRM, and I will be looking forward to receiving information from you as to how we'll improve. I don't know if Nola is here right now. I would like her to talk about one of the initiatives, which is the hashtag #MyWhy.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, she's going to be using that for her DTM project. So for any initiative that you're bringing on board, you can always count as points to you as well. So as much as you're giving to Toastmasters, you'll be gaining, you'll be getting the learnings, and you'll also be getting points for whatever pathways that you're doing, or if you're working towards your DTM project. So Nola will be an example now of that. This is her DTM project, and she's going to be working on the hashtag #MyWhy project. So I'll just invite Nola now to the virtual podium to talk to us all about #MyWhy. Thank you very much. Back to you now, Nola.
Thank you, Angela. And if you could unshare there, I just have a few slides to share as well.
Okay.
and hopefully I'll be able to, it's been a long time since I shared on Zoom, so please bear with me. I think you can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, I am going to talk to you now about a project that I have done already, and I did it as my level 3 presenting a proposal and level 4 managing a project in my first pathway in my club. And it was called the #MyWhy project. And you can see here a little bit about it. It involved Toastmasters. I'll explain it to you now in a second. It's not my baby. It's not my birth child. It actually was initiated by Toastmasters International, I think during COVID. I discovered it on the Toastmasters website during COVID. And I thought, wow, this is brilliant. Now, I have to share this. I wasn't actually the VP PR in my club at the time. I was the VPM, and we were struggling greatly, like most clubs during COVID. And our VPPR wasn't on social media. And so in a drastic attempt, I was doing a bit of social media for my own business. I decided to basically take to social media to try and help push our club and get some new members. And I discovered the #MyWhy. Now, how did I get into the #MyWhy? As I explained to you, I was frantically trying to find a way for our club to get new members. And I knew a bit about Facebook. I knew it was at the time the biggest social media platform on the internet at the time. And the first thing I did was I attended Kajetan's branding seminar that was run by the district. And from that, I learned how to make these posters. And I used to post them on our club. And I actually started growing our reach on our Facebook page. The second thing that I did was I decided, as I said, to present this as the proposal. We needed to get points, educational points, because we were a club that were at this point probably 8 or 9 years into getting presidents distinguished each year, and we didn't want to fall this year. So I needed a level 4 and a level 3 to help our club to get the points they needed. So I decided to present a proposal and then create this Facebook project. And I invited members of our club, there they all are, to make a video, 1-minute video, and they had to talk about their why they came to Toastmasters in the first place, why they stay, and why they would recommend it to somebody else, with a call to action. Normally the call to action, if it didn't come in the post, I had it in the blurb that went with the video post. So I presented this invitation, this proposal to all of my club, asking them to meet the challenge and to come and first of all learn about the project and then to go off and make their video. Now you can probably see from this motley crew that I had, some very experienced Toastmasters are up here and some actually very new Toastmasters to our club are also up here. So we had a variety of very different speakers presenting 1-minute videos. Some were able to print off the #MyWhy sign, some were not. Some just wrote it on a piece of paper. It didn't matter. The more ordinary the videos were, the more ordinary Toastmasters would seem to the public. And it is, but a lot of people don't get that. So what we did was we posted these videos over 5 weeks because the project needed to be done by the end of the year, and it started quite close to the end of the year. So we did it very quickly, which in hindsight, we could have got much more draw from it had we posted it over a longer period of time. And that's what I'm proposing here tonight, that we will do it with clubs starting into September running through. Each of the videos I posted up or the member posted up themselves. Let me show you this. Here's what we got over the 5-week period. During the 5 weeks, we mightn't have got that many visitors, but as the videos started gaining momentum on the social media platform and getting liked and shared and commented on, well past the 5 weeks, we had 10 visitors and we got 5 new members by August, September. Our president was invited to talk to a local newspaper, the Meath local newspaper, which is our local county area. And so we were getting an awful lot of outlay for this one project. We grew our reach on Facebook over the 4 weeks. the project ran for 5 weeks, I could only measure it for a 4-week period. And because of the daily posts that I was doing, you know, you're very welcome to join our club. Are you struggling with this? And a clear call to action in each of those social media posts that I was making, the branded ones, we'd grown our reach from virtually nothing to 1,000. Then we grew it when we started putting the videos up to over 5,000. We got 5,500 reaches on the videos as the video started going. And so we were growing our profile on social media, and people were liking and sharing. We had over 500 followers at this point who were ticking our website, our social media, Facebook page, and saying, I want to follow this, and liking our page as well. We were getting views, comments, likes, and shares on most of the posts. Now, that's where the club members come in. And then their friends were liking them and sharing them. And then we also joined other local community groups. You see, we didn't need global reach. We needed local reach. And so you don't have to pay a penny for that. I never spent a penny on social media. And we managed to get 5 new members. Not exactly at that period, but in the weeks ahead as it was gaining momentum on social media. Facebook, did you know this? Facebook is still the most popular social media platform. It has over 3 billion active monthly users. 3 billion active monthly. We don't need 3 million or 3 billion. We just need to get our local reach. But we could get global reach with this. If every club that comes on board in this project actually likes and shares and connects with each other's clubs, and then we like and share each other's videos, and then we comment on them, we will get massive reach. And if each of those clubs is connected into local clubs, all of a sudden the whole thing just tumbles, and we get so much more reach from just one local video. So what I'm seeking for my project is I'm seeking a member from your club or from every club or whatever club feels they could do this, because you don't actually have to do it on social media. You could actually get people to write their little blurb, and if they agree to give a photograph, and you could have a deal with a local paper where you're going to offer them one of these every month or every week, where you're going to talk about this person joined our club because and what they've got from the club, and that's how you use it as well. So it can be done that way as well. But in this project, I will share my experience, what I've done. I will give you information. I will give you a resource that you can give to the members who come on board. I'm going to help you to do this in your club. And you could get a level 3 present a proposal and a level 4 project management out of it as well for you doing it. You're going to ask members in your club to make the videos. I'm going to tell you how you can help them to do that. They're going to send you the video or post it themselves. And we're going to manage this project through just a few months, that's all. I will have Zoom meetings throughout the project to help you understand what's going on, to help you get your members working, any questions you have, anything we're learning from it, because I don't have all the answers on this, trust me. And then we will reflect on it at the end, and we will present our insights to the district as to, could this work every year at the beginning of the year for clubs to actually push themselves out there and start getting organic reach and get new members into their club. So that's what I'm looking for, fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to talk to all the VPPRs through the VPPR brand group that Angela has, and I'm going to invite them. But if the VPPR isn't into this and you particularly would like to get into it, well, please come and talk to me. These are my details, and I'll put them in the chat. And I look forward to presenting maybe at the end of this project to another meeting exactly what we did, how we did it, and what we got from it. That's my why for my DTM. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Nola. That's an interesting project, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll just go on to the second part of the meeting. And straight into the understanding the Toastmasters brand. So the objective of this training really is to raise awareness of the TI brand guidelines. a question, just by a show of hands, how familiar are you with the Toastmasters brand manual? Trying to see now. Okay, quite a few people in the room, actually. Well, that's interesting. So maybe we should just go home then. No, that was a joke. Yeah, thank you very much. So some people really don't know about the Toastmasters brand guidelines, and that's why you see that we get some nice pink posters in some clubs and some very nice green ones and some very purple posters. But today, at the end of this training, I suppose we'll not have all the answers in this 30 minutes, but at least we know where to look for information if we're seeking one. So we're not completely blind about the brand guidelines of Toastmasters. So an overview, really, we'll be looking at the introduction to branding. We'll be looking at the brand manual, which is supposed to be our guide and inspiration towards knowing how to, well, I suppose protect the brand and use the colors, the logo, and all that. Then we'll talk about key aspects of TM branding. We'll talk about how to use the logo. We'll talk about typography and color. We'll talk about the brand voice and tone, applying the voice in communication, the do's and don'ts, and we'll look at a couple of resources that we'll need. So the first question, what's branding? It's the process of creating a unique image and identity for a product, service, or organization in the customer's mind. It involves developing a consistent theme that is recognizable and serves to distinguish the brand from its competitors. So, can everyone see the picture there? So that's Google, there's Apple, there's McDonald's. Anywhere we see those colors, we know the brand. And that's because of the branding. Coca-Cola, even if you don't like it, when you see Coca-Cola, you know it's Coca-Cola. Even if you don't like Nike, when you see Nike, you know it's Nike. And same for Amazon, Facebook, and the other brands. So in terms of Toastmasters, to have laid that in our minds, I suppose they have a guide, they have their colors, they have the way their fonts are written, they have different things that is related to their branding, to have kept it this way that even when you are asleep, when you see the brand, you recognize them and you can actually identify with them. So with Toastmasters has helped us to understand their own by providing us with the brand manual. Quite a few people, if you want to scan the barcode there, that will take you to the brand manual, by the way. And there is also the link in the chat that would also take you there. So where would you find the brand manual? It's in the Toastmasters website. And if you scan that, you'll have it as well. David, if you want to put the link back in the chat for the brand manual, I would really appreciate that. So key aspects of Toastmasters branding, the visual identity, that has to do with the logo. And the Toastmasters logo is very distinctive. That's what we have in the middle there, and everyone knows it. And people use it one way or the other. But tonight, we're going to look at how we're supposed to use it and use it right to keep it consistent and compliant. Because I suppose that's the whole essence of this course, to be able to make sure that we're compliant with the Toastmasters brand. So another aspect of it is the brand voice and the core values. We all know what the core values are. It includes integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Toastmasters emphasizes this in several of the core values. And these values, they are integral to the brand, and they're reflected in all communications and interactions within the organization. Can we quickly take this quiz? For those of us that know the brand manual, by a show of hands, or maybe drop a message in the chat, do you think that that logo is compliant? David, you might want to go off the mic and let me know. Because I can't even see anything anyway. I don't even know if I'm still. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I can't see anything.
We can hear you perfectly.
Yeah. So is this compliant? David, can you just look in the chat? Maybe I should just come down. 27 messages. No.
Do you notice no background, color wrong?
Okay, thank you very much for that. Let me go back there again. I'm not sure why I can't. Oh yeah, I can see on one side now. Yeah, let's look at the other one. And do you think this is compliant? What do you think is wrong with it, Donald? Donald Keaton.
Again, the color background is wrong.
Okay, thank you very much. And what do you think about this?
That's it.
Fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's it.
Okay, and this?
No.
Why do you think this is wrong?
It's more like an advertisement rather than the promotion of Toastmasters and what Toastmasters stands for.
No.
I think it has been used though.
Okay.
You cannot have that the logo really just made on the actual logo.
Correct.
So that's incorrect. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
And the colors are wrong.
So there are quite a few things that we do wrong. Sometimes well, I suppose maybe because we don't know what it is. There is a way the logo is supposed to go. So if you look at the slide, you'll see the right logos on the right side of the screen, and you'll see the wrong logos. So the logo is not supposed to be changed in any way. You have to ensure that there is enough space around the logo. You have to make sure that it's not too close to the text or the edge of the page. See the way the other one had the text on top of the logo. There's not supposed to be anything on the logo. It should be visible. It can be placed on top of it. It can't be placed on top of a photograph, but you can place it on top of a photograph as long as there's contrast between the image and the logo. It must not be placed on the top of a solid block of color that is not, just like the green one that we saw in the other slide. And one of the 4 Toastmasters brand colors. So you can also put it on one of the Toastmasters brand colors. Now let's look at the text. So Toastmasters have specified fonts for us to use for our promotional materials. And those fonts, a lot of us use Montserrat, but the good news is that there are other fonts that you can use. So you have the Myriad Pro, which alternates is South Sands Pro, and you have Gotham, which the free alternate to that is Montserrat, which a lot of people use anyway. And we have the colors. We have the True Maroon, we have the Loyal Blue, we have the Cool Gray, and we have the Accent Yellow as the accent color. So there are other colors here as well for the gradients, and they have the color numbers. So when you even take the numbers and put it on even PowerPoint, it brings out the color for you. So maybe that's one tip that you can take away today, that if you copy the color number and put it in whatever it is that you're doing, even on Canva, it just brings out the color for you easily, and you're able to save it and come back to it and go back to it and use it anytime you need to create your designs. Same as the fonts on Canva, you can do that. And I suppose with PowerPoint presentations too, you can always create a template using this thing one-off, and it makes it easier for you when you're creating other ones. So what's not permitted on our posters? So the brand guidelines recommend that we connect artwork to Toastmasters environment. You are not allowed to have children. You're not allowed to have animals, pets. You're not allowed to have food. You're not allowed to have. What do you think is wrong with the man in this picture? The doctor. Can someone just...
Is it showing a particular profession?
No, that's
No.
not completely. Thank you very much.
No,
Like the tablets, medicine.
That's
But no, he's missing his head.
yes, that's correct.
yeah.
That's very correct. So you're not supposed to chop off the head of someone. The Toastmasters preaches the community and wants to what photos of you in the club, people talking. If someone is in your club and is a medical doctor and wants the picture to be in the flyer, I don't think Toastmasters will have a problem with it if the head is not chopped off. And so you can showcase your club environment. So the fact that there's a building there doesn't mean that you can showcase a building. You can show your club environment. So yeah, so these plants, pets, kids, food, and this kind of pictures are not allowed. So the posters and I just listed a few voice and tone checklists. Toastmasters is supposed to be professional. We're trying to project ourselves as being warm. We're looking for members. We're growing. We're helping people develop their skills in a supportive environment. So we want to come across with the right words. We want to be friendly. We want to be respectful, which is one of the core values of the Toastmasters brand. We want to be warm. We want to be very clear in our communication. As much as we want to do all these, we also want to be very professional. So when you're sending any message across, just have it well at the back of your mind that, am I being warm? Am I being friendly? Am I being clear? And am I being professional in what I'm giving out? You know, and most importantly, are you being respectful in the message that you're trying to give out? And considering that we're working with a global community, it's very important to take that into cognizance and know that our tone actually should change depending on the context. But whatever it is, it has to be within the guidelines of being respectful and very much aligned with the core values. So here are some examples of brand compliant promotion. I just use recent ones because I suppose they will still be very fresh in our heads. So we look at the colors. You can see that is the Toastmasters blue. We have the logo at the right side. We're going to do a bit more about Canva for now and more about designs. So learn more about the positioning as well of the logo in those classes. So yeah, and that's the Zoom background. This is the Toastmasters Zoom background, and that's another poster as well that is compliant using the accent yellow. Yeah, so best practices tips for maintaining the brand consistency across platforms. Use TI templates, ensure consistent voice and tone, ensure that it's very professional. The quality of maintain high standards with all the published content as much as possible. It's always good to always review club materials, digital platforms. This is the job of the VPPR now, and anyone that is digitally inclined or has technical skills within the club, just to ensure that you're compliant with the brand guidelines. Leverage digital assets, social media, centralize your communication tools. So this is also for the VPP. Ensure that all digital platforms, websites, social media, email newsletters, you use the right logo. So for this year, for example, we're using the 100 years logo. I don't have it here now. It would have been nice to show that, but I suppose in subsequent trainings we'll have that. Yeah, so for the year, we're using the 100 years logo. That's compliant, and I will encourage everyone, the VPPRs, to use it as they go along and stick to the color schemes, the fonts and font styles. then regularly update your content to reflect current boundary materials and messages. So part of what I am hoping that we'll achieve this year is to work together to create templates that you can always work off as VPPR. So we'll create a template for meetings, we'll create a compliant template for meetings, we'll create a compliant social media branding message flyer. So you can always edit that if you don't have the time, and just ensure that your club is compliant. If we take it from the club level and we ensure that our clubs are compliant, it's kind of feeds into the area and division and back into the district. So we are expecting that we all work together this time to ensure the compliance. And if you have any questions at all, I'm just an email down the road, and trust me, I'll respond to you within 24 hours. So engage and educate members, then monitor and respond as you go along. So you monitor what you're doing on social media, how it's working for you. We heard Nola now talking about what she did and how it worked. So it was very useful to monitor that and see how it's working, and you know what to do more of and what to do less of, so that we're spending our time in the right areas and on the right things. Then, like I said, there's that barcode. If you scan the barcode, it will take you to a website as well, where you can, it's Toastmasters website, where you can get access to resources. So if you want images, compliant images, you'll be able to get them there. Yeah, and like I said, you can always send me an email if you have any questions or you have any queries. There is also the link in the chats to that if you can't get it from the barcode. Now, do you have any questions?
If you just check the chat there, Angela, you'll notice one or two comments and questions.
Okay.
Victoria from Victoria Carl. Victoria Carl, do other clubs use photo release forms? We do, and have members that cannot be photographed. I wonder, do other clubs have similar considerations?
I can't see that.
We have the same thing in Phoenix, Tara.
The answer is yes, Angela. Clubs do have release forms, yeah.
Okay.
And they should use release forms, yeah.
Can I pose a further question?
Yeah.
Because there is the consideration of the use of photographs of members, we repeat the photo release forms each year because we want to make sure that we still have consent. And I just wondered, again, do other clubs do that each year?
No.
We just did once, only one.
We only do it for new members.
Does that answer your question, Victoria?
No, yeah, it does. We're conscious. We've had members who've then come back and actually said they've changed their mind and they wanted their images all taken down and so on. So we found that actually the stock images from Toastmasters are really useful for, the flyers and so on. And we then only publish pictures of members in social media that have actually expressly we've gotten their permission. And it's because some of our members, they actually cannot, just due to their work, be on social media. And so we have to protect their privileges. But it means that we went to Toastmasters for the stock images and we actually found them really good.
Yeah, so that's the stock images there are meant for, well, I suppose everyone. And I would want to say that you should work with what works best for your club, because you really don't want to get into trouble or get into any of all those kind of issues because of people's photographs. So those links will actually take you to the resource pages on the Toastmasters website. That's, you have a lot of pictures to work with, and you even have templates of flyers as well to work up from, if you like.
I would, Angela, I would say myself that most clubs aren't even aware of the photo release form.
Oh.
And yet, like, most people know a little bit about GDPR, but yet they don't understand it and prefer to just carry on in ignorance more than anything else, or perhaps innocence of what the restrictions are of GDPR and how it affects our lives. But I think it'd be a very good idea for all clubs to have it at the top of their list every year to issue to members photo release forms. It would solve an awful lot of issues. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what's your recommendation? Are you recommending that they do it every year or do it one-off when they sign up as Toastmasters? I would think that it's going to be an easier call to sign. When you sign up, you can check that if you want it, and if you don't want it, you don't want it, and it can be unchecked. I don't know about having to do it every year. In my club, we did it the first time. David, I can see your hands up. Do you want to say something?
Angela, and those who have a specific interest in this, I suppose circumstances may change, and this is the difficulty. Initially, there mightn't be a problem, but a problem could arise at another point due to a change up in a job, someone moving from being employed in industry to working for government, for example, whereby they might not be permitted to engage on social media or be seen on social media for certain postings. I know certainly that one or two people in our club work for the government and they're not permitted to engage on social media. So, and that's a change up. So we have to be concerned and considerate when those issues arise. So hence why you might publicize the fact each year in your WhatsApp group. Anybody who wishes to advise us in relation to any change up in their position with regard to changing photographs, please let us know, and we'll ensure that all considerations are given and privacy is maintained. You could do the standardized form every year, but I think, you know, really it's for the member to come to you and advise you if there's a change up in their position. It should be in the membership form, but these positions do change. That's all I would say. Thank you.
Is it possible to add a tick box to the members page regarding photo usage? Yeah, I suppose that's what is always on the forms when you sign up. But like as David has said, if things change, it might just be necessary to review it frequently, just in case there is a change and that can be implemented. Are there any other questions that we haven't touched on? David, can you see another question?
Is it Paul Omani?
Yeah, Paul has raised his hand, and also we have Emer from Bray.
Okay.
Can I just ask, what is wrong with the idea of making an announcement at the beginning of each meeting that the meeting will be recorded and that the recordings will be used for the self-development of members, and images will be used for social media, and advising people that if they do not wish to be recorded, they should turn off their screen and even turn off their audio. And if they don't want to be photographed, they should clearly leave their screen closed. What is wrong with doing that?
That's thank you very much for that question, Paul. I think that's a great one, but that can only work if it's a Zoom meeting. If it's a physical meeting, what happens? That's where the challenge is, because I suppose Lucan is a physical meeting, that's Victoria's Club. And in that kind of, would you say that if the person does not want social media, would the person have to step out of the room? I think it will be easier not to take a picture of the person than asking the person not to enjoy the experience, the Toastmaster experience with the group.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
PM Sandra Theodore here. With the connection with photos, is it that we only use photos from Toastmasters stock? So for instance, I'd ask if you see a group of people like in a newspaper clipping and it's depicting what your meeting is about, can you use that? Or
No.
that's a no-no?
No, that's a no-no, because you
Okay.
might not be authorized to use the picture.
Okay.
Yeah, so you only use pictures and even for sounds as well that you're authorized to use. Canva, paid Canva, you can get images as well, and you can get audio as well. But the recommendation will be to go back and review your brand manual. That should be our guide. It would always point us in the right direction to go on the website where we can get all these resources. Toastmaster has loads of resources for us as public relations experts that we can work with.
Okay. Thank you very much for that.
We have Emer from Bray.
We were discussing at our most recent club AGM about how when new members are aware of Toastmasters, they look up our Facebook page and they find out when our meeting is on and they contact us. That's only when they're aware of Toastmasters. And one of our members suggested that there should be maybe like a district-wide advertisement of the brand of Toastmasters, so that you're advertising what Toastmasters is, and then directing people to maybe find a club page on Toastmasters International, so that if they're near Elizabeth's club, they'll go to Elizabeth's club. If they're near my club, they'll go to my club. And we're just getting the brand out there as a whole without promoting any club in particular, but thereby promoting all of the clubs in the district. And
So-
is that something that might be considered?
So Emer, can I ask for clarification? How would you propose that the district would do that? Have you
Well,
got an idea?
I don't know. I'm not in PR. So,
Yeah, because
you know, whether it be something on the radio, something
so
in print.
okay, so
I don't know.
for example, most clubs rely on local reach, and I think that's why I was talking about the hashtag #MyWhy. And even though it's on Facebook, which you think is global, it actually, you only need to get local reach. And what you're proposing is, say, you'd have to go to get a district. This is just my view. To get the district to advertise for, you know, somewhere, they would have to go national.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm proposing.
Yeah, the cost of going national for an advertisement is in my humble view is quite expensive. It would need a budget in itself. And you risk, because when you go national, you risk actually missing most of the local.
Yep.
Because you've gone too big. And so if people don't watch the news, as most people don't anymore, it depends when your advertisement goes online. It depends when it shows on a screen. It depends when it's in a certain paper and who reads that paper. So you're narrowing your demographic, but at a national level. Whereas when you do something locally in your local newspaper, in wherever, you actually identify personally with people, and it's a local reach, and they can then interact with you and respond to you as a result of that. So I've heard this before, it was mentioned to me, and my immediate question back was, how could that work at a national level? It actually, you'd miss more people than you think you might get in the net. It's like casting your net, trying to cast it over the whole big wide sea, instead of knowing where there is actually a group of fish that you could get. You risk losing everybody and getting nobody, whereas at a local level, you actually have a chance of getting somebody. And you build a personal relationship with them because it's club to person, as opposed to a massive international level. That's just my own opinion. Don't know if anybody else has anything that they want to say on that.
Yeah, just a quick addition to that you said. Thank you very much, Nola, for that response. I thought that was very useful. For the district, first of all, District 71 is UK and Ireland. So that means we have to be advertising for UK and we have to be advertising for Ireland. I just want to add that social media ads, right? They work better when it's set to a target audience. So just like what Nola was saying is, if you are in, I'm not sure where your club is now, the person that was asking that question. So I live in Port Arlington, for example, and I am in the Kildare Club. If I am looking for members, I'm looking for people around the Kildare axis. I'm looking to follow the pages, the community pages in Kildare. I'm not looking for someone in Dublin to come to my club. So if the district has to work for individual clubs, then that's a lot of work to be done. So I don't see that being feasible.
I think you've misunderstood my point in that regard, because okay. I'm not saying that you should be looking out for each club. I'm just saying if you get what Toastmasters is out there, then when people look up clubs, they can find where their local club is themselves. But it's more just so that people are getting the like that we're getting the brand of Toastmasters out there more, as opposed to the brand of Bray Toastmasters or Tara Toastmasters or Blarney Toastmasters in our local area.
I think though, again, if I don't mind coming in, I think we do that. You see, if somebody goes searching for a speaking group or you know, fear of speaking, it depends on what you've got again in your SEO of your website, who will get reached, and Toastmasters have done work on that. And so Toastmasters will come up high enough in the rankings because of the way they've worked it out on different websites and linked everything in and social media posts. And that's the way that can happen nowadays. I think the time of a branded thing at a national level is gone for a group like Toastmasters. I think it is going to rely on local clubs using the proper brand to get it out there. As I said in my talk, if every club actually did or took on the hashtag #MyWhy as for an example, and even if some didn't, if they were still on Facebook and each Facebook group, for example, had liked each other and commented and followed each other, then the video that I share on my group page could actually be liked and shared and posted on everybody else's group page, and you would get the benefit in your area, depending on what you write when you share it, what you comment on it, and about your club, and you put the information about your club. Here's a class video from such and such talking about why they joined Toastmasters. If you'd like to know more about Toastmasters, why don't you pop over to our meeting, which is in Bray, whatever. We love welcoming visitors. You didn't even have to put the video up yourself, but you've been able to link, share it, and avail of it and use it very effectively for your club. You see, the branded posts that I was putting up every week that I showed you on one of my slides, that wasn't just helping my club. That was giving a reach for Toastmasters as people liked and shared it who were my friends all over the world. I don't think one branded advertisement from Toastmasters nationally is going to do it anymore. It's not as effective as the local reaching out.
Thank you very much, Nola. Is there any, we'll take one more last question. We're quite on time now, and this is supposed to be the end of the Q&A session, and we should be doing the closing remarks, but I can take one more question if it's going to be quick. Is there anyone that has any other question?
I had my hand raised. I just wanted to make two comments. One, Nuala alluded to, if you key in public speaking associations or organizations online, Toastmasters should pop up. It pops up about 5th or 6th down the line, and then when you go a little bit further, it comes up again and again and again. But the likes of Audible come up 3 or 4 places before it, and there are other platforms as well, just to be conscious of that. I've heard this idea bandied about before of maybe doing one burst every year for the brand of Toastmasters. Make a big publicity in Ireland and the UK in the national newspapers, or by some other means. Go on the Graham Norton show, for example. a bunch of champion Toastmasters. How about that? Our 4 champions. Wouldn't that be a great advertiser? And then, as Emer alluded to, people might say, well, oh, hang on a second. There are clubs all over the world. I wonder, is the one in Bray? I wonder, is there one in Greystones? Is there one in County Meath? Is there one in Cork? So there is some merit in these things. Advertise locally, but perhaps D71 should look at, or maybe Toastmasters should look at, once a year, doing a burst for the brand and putting it in people's minds. That's all I have to offer. Thank you very much for a great session, guys.
Thank you very much, David. And thank you very much for everyone for the session today. I thought it was very good and it was quite engaging. Now, it was quite short as well, but the purpose of it, I think it was met, is first of all, to increase the awareness of the Toastmasters brand, and most importantly, point everyone to the direction of the brand manual. I spoke with someone and the person didn't even know the brand manual existed. And I was very surprised at that. I hope I've been able to drive that message across tonight to everyone. So thank you very much. And this is going to count as well towards your club officer training. So thanks for a wonderful evening and have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you.